Yeah, you guys didn't get it in the eye. Did you ever get hit in the eye? No. Last few days,
mira.
Visiting from out of state, not from California. You guys from West Virginia? Alrighty, we have a family from Pennsylvania here. Anyone else out of state? How about you in the back? Shout it out. Washington. You guys probably aren't going to believe this. You Washingtonians definitely will not believe this. But a lot of people complain. Here in Southern California, we don't get any weather. Day after day, same old boring sunshine. Wait, why am I even talking about weather? Well, we can just go to the Today Show's Al Roker for the forecast.
Hi, everybody. Here's today's forecast for the Universal Backlot. It's going to be sunny and dry at 6 Points, Texas. Cool and cloudy in Little Europe. Expect snow and sleet on New York Street, and we've got a high chance of fog and precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island, and Isla Nublar. That's your forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on in your neck of the lot.
Yikes, that's not a good thing. I don't know where you're getting that, Al. I mean, yeah, there's a few clouds in the sky, but for the most part, the sun's out. Oh, my goodness me, look at that. I think Al may have been running the money on this one. Wow.
It's raining. Es cuando hacen las películas.
Well, don't worry, folks. If we weren't in any real danger, why we hear a distant rumbling sound.
Mira el agua, mira el agua. Allá.
Sound just like that one, folks. You better brace yourself. Let's hear it come for a second. Obviously, Al, I was a little bit of a gag on you here. That flood is created by dumping thousands of gallons of water from the top of the hill. The water is going under the bridge and it's being recycled back up to the top of the hill. The rain is created by sprinklers high up in the trees. They're called rain towers. What they do is they spray the water up into the air so that it falls down naturally to simulate rain. Now, I don't know how many aspiring actors we have on the tram today. I gotta tell you, there's a moment in every actor's career where you have to do something so ridiculous, off the wall, uncomfortable, undignified, that all you can say to yourself is, so this is showbiz. Take a look at this clip from the movie Big Fat Liar. I think this may have been one of Oscar nominee Paul Giamatti's moments.
You can't outrun a wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
Okay, look, now, imagine, if you will, that it's you filming the scene instead of Paul Giamatti. You get launched down the hill, the director yells cut, you stand up, you're dripping wet head to toe, and the director says, perfect, let's do it again. It has happened, folks. Right now, we are about to enter one of the western sections of our lot. This is called 6 Points, Texas, and, excuse me, here's one of my favorite cowpokes to tell you a little bit more about it.
Did you know that more movies have been shot on these streets than any other spot in the world? Now, during the silent film era, they could shoot up to 6 movies at the same time, one on each one of these 6 streets. That's why it's called 6 Points, because each street had its own bank, its own sheriff's office, its own saloon, and its own hotel. Now, it turns out that this town ain't big enough for both of us. So get on back onto your tram stagecoach thing and get the heck out of here. Go on.
Alrighty, folks, now if you take a look around you may notice some of the doors are just a bit smaller than they normally would be. That's where you put the cowboys in front of them and they would look bigger, brawnier, and more husky. While some of the other doors are bigger, that's where you can put the western women in front of them and they'd look smaller and more petite. So you don't need Jenny Craig, you don't need the Atkins diet, you just need a really big door. That's all anybody needs. Now, do you folks remember what I said earlier about taking audiences from the bottom of the ocean to the surface of the moon? Well, here's the bottom of the ocean, and you're instinctively looking on your right-hand side because you see water over there. Now, if anything, that's the top of the ocean. The bottom of the ocean is going to be coming up on your left-hand side, and it'll be on your screens as well. Take a look. That is our underwater tank. Now, what we'll do with that is we'll fill that tank up with water. Then we'll plop the actors inside, plop. Then we'll have the camera shoot through portholes outside the tank.
I found the snake!
Like we did with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd in Dragnet. And there it is over there on your left. That's the bottom of the ocean. What about the surface of the moon, huh? Well, we're driving on it. This asphalt road we're driving on right now was used as the moon's surface in another Tom Hanks movie, Apollo 13, directed by Oscar winner Ron Howard. Find that illusion hard to swallow? Well, how about this one? Over here on your right is New York's Central Park, at least as much as the camera needs to see. And right next to the park set, we have Park Lake, which was used as the entire Pacific Ocean for the TV show McHale's Navy, with Ernest Borgnine and Tim Conway. And you're probably, and I'll tell you folks, we used to have a giant riverboat facade on the edge of the lake here. We shot some of the TV show Riverboat with Darren McGavin on it, but it's not there anymore. And you're probably thinking, Peter, how would they make that lake the entire ocean? Isn't it a little small? Well, it's the exact same principle that we used to film this scene from Peter Jackson's King Kong. It's the SS Venture arriving on Skull Island. Check it out. Now, Peter Jackson searched the world over to find the perfect ship that could double as the SS Venture, and the art department added several period set pieces to transform that vessel into a 1930s-style freighter. Now, in just a moment, we're going to show you how that sequence was created. But before we do that, we're going to need to do some special effects of our own here. Now, if you're a fan of the Classic Studio Tour, you'll probably know where I'm going with this. Incidentally, folks, that entire scene was done in camera, meaning that everything that you saw happening on screen happened physically in front of the camera. There was no special magic added in later, no post-production effects, no. What you saw is what you got. We're going to show you how we do that. But before we do, we're going to need to do some special effects of our own here. Now, if you're a fan of the Classic Studio Tour, I'll bet you know where I'm going with this. On the count of 3, I'll need everybody to repeat the following line with me. Part the waters. Ready? Here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Part the waters.
Let's just see what happens.
What?
Very nice. Very nice. Now, folks, we are going to be taking you below sea level in just a bit, so that you'll be able to see a view very similar to the one that Peter Jackson had when he was making King Kong. Now, if you folks have any personal belongings on the tram floor that you don't want getting wet, I would suggest picking them up at this time. And beware, there may be some more water just around the corner.
What is the water? Mira, aquí donde está tu hermana que se...
By the way, as we go in, take a look off to your left-hand side. No, your other left. And on your screen as well. As you will see, the SS Venture and Skull Island are actually highly detailed miniatures. Believe it or not, this is as big as Skull Island ever got in the movie. Now, the rain in this scene was created with rain towers that we saw earlier at the flash flood, while the fog, waves, and other physical effects were created with techniques that have been around since the earliest days of film.
Mira el bridge.
On the screen, it looks absolutely real.
It's right here.
But you know, folks, even with all that attention to detail, it's going to still go horribly wrong. Yep. Yep. Sure. Oh, yeah. Sure. Right now, folks, please stay seated. Tram is still moving. Right now, we are approaching Universal's prop department. Now, a prop is anything on a set that is not nailed down to a set. It can be something as small and insignificant as a paperclip, or something as big as these lampposts over here on your left-hand side. Now, how many of you have seen Big Fat Liar currently on DVD? Okay, I'm going to call the stars of that flick, Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes, and say to them in a loud, firm, David Letterman-type voice, "Hey, you kids, put down them whiz-bang comic books and tell us about the prop department."
In Big Fat Liar, Amanda and I live in the property department. The Universal Prop Department contains the largest collection in the industry, with well over 1 million props.
And believe